Hello everyone, welcome to Classroom 2.0 Live for Saturday the 7th of March. Today's topic, Super Librarians and Livebinders. Your show hosts are Peggy George, I'm Lori Moffett, and Tammy Moore. Thanks to Tammy for doing the closed captioning. Our special guests today are Mindy Perry, Marcia Brandt, Rochelle Isola, Katie Hauser, and Mary Jo Matusek. And also Tina Schneider, who's the co-founder of Livebinders. I'm going to turn the mic over to Tina now so she can introduce the rest of the team.
Thank you, Lori. Hi, everyone. I have to tell you, I'm really happy to be introducing the iLeadU team today, because for me it's always great to see a binder project come to fruition. And I actually have a little bit of history with them that was kind of unexpected. Back in October, we did a Google Hangout together where the six of us were doing a Google Hangout, and they were asking me all these questions about collaboration and how best to set up the binder for collaborating remotely and sharing resources. And I was really impressed with, well, first of all, that they all knew how to do a Google Hangout, but also that they were trying to do a project together from different locations. And then a couple of months later, Barbara shares a YouTube video with me. And she says, you know, you've got to see this. It's really a great presentation. It's really well choreographed, and it's about Common Core, and they're using Livebinders. So I was watching the video and just laughing along with them and really impressed with how they put the video together. And then all of a sudden when they introduced themselves, my brain started to put two and two together, and I go, hey, I know who they are. So for me, it's great to see that their project came to life, that they put it together so impressively, knowing what obstacles they had to work with. So on that note, I would like to introduce you to the iLeadU team and their super project.
I'll ask the newbie question, and one of the team members will take it from there. How are you currently organizing your web resources?
Good morning, this is Mindy Perry, and what we really found was that our teachers were using USB devices to organize their resources. They were using their drives on the computer, using folders, and a lot of the favorites. Well, for my district, we actually changed servers this past summer, and a lot of teachers lost everything, things that they've been accumulating for 20 years, because they didn't really understand how to use the tools like Dropbox or Google Drive. And you know, basically the question is, what is a cloud and how does it work? So we figured there must be a better way. So when we were trying to decide on what type of project we were going to be putting together for our teachers, we had decided that what we really needed was a way to model organization plus provide resources to support Common Core for our teachers, because they're really kind of swimming at this point. So we decided there must be a better way. So for our project, we evaluated a few different online tools, and we had really determined that Livebinder was the way to go. It's free, it's online, so you can access it anywhere. You can collaborate on the binders, and basically we felt that it was the best tool for our needs. Plus, it really bypassed all of our school's filters, which was one of the pieces that we were most concerned with. It bypassed all 5 of our different districts, so that was a great thing. So it really gave us some peace of mind that other districts and other teachers will have full access to this Livebinder as a way that we are organizing and modeling organization for the teachers. So that's where we're at. We can go to the next slide, I think.
Hi, my name is Katie Hauser, and I'd like to talk a little bit about how our group got started. There was an awesome Illinois State Library project called iLeadUSA that Mindy will be talking a little more about. And we, as a team, all got together because we are all solo librarians and decided to come up with a project where we could be working together to help our community. Because we are solo librarians, we use ISLMA, the Illinois School Library Media Association, to communicate amongst each other and to get great ideas. So I posted a request on ISLMA to see if anyone wanted to work together with me, and our team was formed very quickly through Islama and Facebook to start this I Lead You project. Our communities are varied amongst all 5 of us, and that kind of led to a positive side of this project. Mindy and I both work in low-income districts where a majority of our students are on the free and reduced lunch program. We have limited access to technology, and my school was first set up with wireless for the first time in December this year. Some of our teachers are do not have access to projectors. So we were limited on the access points for technology that we could use for them, which is where Livebinder worked really well for us. Marcia is from Herscher Community School District, and she works with elementary and intermediate students, or has worked with them over the last many, many years. MJ works at Meridian Middle School, and Rachel works at St. Patrick High School. I forgot to say that Mindy is an elementary librarian, and I am a high school librarian. So amongst the 5 of us, we were working with K through 12 grades. We'd like to show you this video now that we put together to introduce our group.
Like it or not, life is full of measuring sticks. How smart we are, how fast we are, how well we can, compete. But up until now, it's been pretty hard to tell how well kids are competing in school and how well they're going to do when they get out of school. We like to think that our education system does that. But when it comes to learning what they really need to be successful after graduation, is a girl in your neighborhood being taught as much as her friend over in the next one? Is a graduating senior in, say, St. Louis as prepared to get a job as the graduate in Shanghai? Well, it turns out the answer to both of these questions is no. Because for years, states have been setting different standards for what students should know and be able to do at each grade level. That's making it too hard to know if our kids are really doing well enough overall, and if they can really compete for a job someday. What we really need are clear goals. That's where the Common Core state standards come in. They're like a total sea change in education.
Help! I need help with Common Core.
Consistent, strong, clear benchmarks for English language arts and math. Here's how it works. You can think of kindergarten through 12th grade like a giant staircase. Each step is a skill your child needs to learn before stepping up to the next one. But right now, too many kids aren't really confident with like 2 plus 2 before they have to move on to 2 times 2. We need more focus on the skills that help them move up the stairs, or they can slip up and fall behind. And there's another problem. What if everyone's stairs were made at different heights? Well, here we go again. They are. So, a boy in Seattle who's rocking an A in English literature could be getting a C on his Chicago friend's staircase. Oops. We need to create consistent steps in education, too. So first, each standard creates a landing on the staircase, a stop along the way as your child heads toward high school graduation. Each stop is a chance for every parent and teacher to focus on the skills their students are supposed to know at that step, no matter the zip code, language, or race. And more importantly, each standard makes sure all students are learning what they need to know to get to graduation and beyond. Because something like counting to 100 leads to understanding dollars and cents, which eventually leads to understanding how to manage a budget. Secondly, the standards are consistent from school to school, and they match up against international standards too. Now we know how we're doing compared to just about everyone. So even though local communities will still design their own curriculum,
Help! I need help with Common Core.
with the same rules, everybody can compete on the same kind of staircase. But standards aren't learning. That's why we need teachers, parents, and students to help make that happen by working together to help kids meet these standards. The world's getting more and more competitive every day. But now, when our kids get to the top of their staircase, they can have way more options on where their life goes from there. Clear goals Confident, well-prepared students. That's the Common Core state standards.
Help! I need help with Common Core.
Help! I don't know where to find resources.
Does anybody have any idea of where I can find some websites for Common Core? I need help!
Wow, I have so many windows open right now on this desktop. Oh, I need some way to organize all these different websites and sources and activities. I really need some help. Somebody help!
Common Core resources? Common Core resources? How am I supposed to organize this?
Yeah! Help! I need somebody. Help! Not just anybody. Help! You know I need someone. Help!
Save me! Save me! Somebody save me! No. Somebody help!
Speeding bullet. More powerful than a locomotive. Able to leap tall buildings at a single bound. Look, up in the sky. It's a bird.
It's a plane!
It's Superman. Yes, it's Superman. Strange visitor from another planet who came to Earth with powers and abilities far beyond those of mortal men. Superman, who can change the course of mighty rivers, bend steel in his bare hands, and who, disguised as Clark Kent, mild-mannered reporter for a great metropolitan newspaper, fights a never-ending battle for truth, justice, and the American way.
So good morning, I'm Rachel Isola, and one of the goals, or one of the requirements for our I Lead You project was to identify a group in our community with an unmet need. So as you can probably already guess, we identified our teachers. After surveying and listening to our teachers, we identified basically a twofold problem. Our teachers were in need of resources to help them implement Common Core in their classroom, but just didn't have the time to fish through all the websites and resources out there to find content and grade level appropriate material. And number two, once they had these resources, how would they keep track of them or make sure they were easily accessible during their limited prep time? So as librarians, we realized we were in a position to help meet both of these needs.
So I'm going to talk a little bit about I Lead USA. The slide that you're looking at here is definitely the librarian jargon, but it's really the best professional development and leadership program out there for librarians that combines technology and collaboration to work on awesome projects. I actually like my version of this better. I always call it library camp because the nitty-gritty of it is that there's 5 librarians, 1 advisor, and 1 project. There are 3 4-day conferences, and in Springfield, Illinois over the course of a year, and we work on professional development and leadership. But throughout the year, it's up to the individual groups to meet and actually work on the project. It is grant funded, so they put you up in a really nice hotel. They feed you way too much. I think everybody gained weight throughout this whole entire year. And the team got $4,000 to spend on the project. And we actually chose to purchase tablets for our team. And the great thing about Livebinder is that there are apps for that, both on Android and Apple. So, a little bit about our teachers' thoughts, because Brian Herford is actually our community representative for my school, and he is on this webinar as well. Our teachers were so instrumental in this whole entire process. Without them, I'm not sure where we would actually be. They did so much for us. They beta tested our site. They decoded the gibberish that is the Common Core standards, and they really provided a crazy amount of support along the way for all of us. After all, this project is geared towards making the lives of teachers easier. When they're lesson planning takes so much time, so that what we wanted to do was to gather these electronic resources to save them time, help lesson plan with them, so make everything work a lot easier for them. So I think Mary Jo is now going to show us the Livebinder itself.
Okay, as you can see, this is our Livebinder, and across the top we have our tabs. Super K2, we broke it down by grade level that we worked with. So we have the Super K2, Super 3.5, 6.8, 9.10, and 11.12. We also have general resources, tech tools, and Super U. And I believe that
basically, as Mary Jo already mentioned, on our homepage you'll see first a description of our Livebinder, and you'll notice that along the top we had organized it by grade level, and the grade level breakdowns correspond to the same breakdown that Common Core uses. So each of us, the 5 of us, focused on a specific grade range and essentially created an individual binder, which we then combined into one binder. So the screen right now that you're looking at, you'll see along the top for the grade 3 through 5 homepage, all the tabs correspond to the English Language Arts content area. What we did is every Livebinder for the grade levels is organized in the same way. So as we show you this screenshot for grades 3 through 5, know that all the other grade level tabs follow the same format. So here we have them corresponding to the tabs corresponding to the content area, and then they'll be further subdivided by the anchor standards. So for each grade level, there'll be a tab for reading literature, reading informational text, writing, speaking and listening, and language. Oops, sorry, if you want to back up a second, Mary Jo. There you go, thank you. For when you click on each of the content tabs, you'll get a detailed explanation of each of the anchor standards and a detailed breakdown of the goals for each standard. You've probably, many of you, seen these charts before. We felt it was important to include them for easy reference. And now you'll also be able to see, so we can go to the next tab. Thank you, Mary Jo. The subtabs for each of the anchor standards. So here, for example, under reading literature, the anchor standards were key ideas and details, craft and structure, integration of knowledge and ideas. And if you were to click on each of the other content areas, you would also see the anchor standards as tabs. And then when you click on any of the anchor standard tabs, you're taken to a collection of lessons that meet that particular standard. In listing the lessons, we wanted to make sure teachers had enough information to know what was required to make each lesson run. So for every lesson, we provide a brief description of the lesson, so you can see that under the names of, or the titles of the lessons. We tell you the operating system that it works best on. We also wanted to make sure teachers knew if it was an app, a website, a database, and we felt it was also important to let them know if this was a free resource or if it was cost-based. And then we included tags so that hopefully in the future, if there's a feature to search by tags, then we'll be all set for that. And then also you'll notice that our lessons are hyperlinked for quick access, so our teachers can get straight to those websites if indeed they're online. And now I believe MJ is going to talk about our general resource tab.
We found added links to other state activities that we found for test prep, student center activities. We were trying to curate what we could find, put it all in one spot. Our teachers really love this because they can go in and get activities from different grade levels and move forward with it. Super-U? Okay,
so Super-U, defeat the evil USB man. Always lost, often corrupted. There is a better way. So Super-U basically is a link to all of the tips and tricks on creating a Livebinder for yourself, using Livebinder, collaborating, everything you want to know. We thought it would be really helpful that in each individual binder, K through 2, 3 through 5, we had in there a resource for teachers and anybody using our Livebinder, a way for them to understand if they were having problems, how to do this on their own, that we gave them and provided that information for them. We are librarians after all, so we have to provide as much information as possible. We're not always there with our teachers to help them walk this through. So there's a link for Livebinder. This slide here is the back end of Livebinder. So when we started this project, we put together the Tech Tools binder first. Marsha created it and shared it with the rest of the team. And that was the binder that we used to do our beta testing. Once we had everything the way we wanted it, we each chose a binder to create. I chose the grades 3 through 5. And then once I created my binder, I clicked on the Collaborate button and added each of the team's email addresses, and then an email was sent to them, and the binder then appeared on their shelf. And what you're looking at is my shelf, basically, of all of my binders. So then our whole entire team had the ability to collaborate. The other team members did the same for the binders that they first set up, which is why on the dashboard you can see all of the individual binders like K through 2 and 6 through 8, and then the high school ones. We realized at that point that we needed to have a home page or the landing page, so we created that and then linked all of the binders onto the main page. When you hover over a binder, you will have 3 buttons that appear: Edit, Options, and Present. Under the Options, that's where you'll find the box that says Share this Livebinder, Collaborate, etc. So Edit is where you edit the binder. You can make changes to it. Present is to present the binder. That's pretty straightforward. What's really nice about Livebinders is the sharing aspect. You can share via email, embed, Facebook, Twitter, Google+, basically everything that is out there right now. Collaborate. You do have to have a Livebinder account in order to collaborate. You can also add or remove collaborators there. Making a copy of a binder, that'll copy the binder onto your shelf, and then your shelf is actually where all of your Livebinders live. So this is the static page of the back end of my shelf, basically.
we have used Livebinders. One of the things that you noticed is that we have the standards put in there. And how we did that was we went to the standards page, and I'm going to go there live, so hopefully this will work. Hopefully. Okay. And I had just done a search for Common Core standards. And we found the standards that we wanted, which were in the English Language Arts. Clicked on Download the Standards. And we didn't want to put all 8 pages, the entire document in there. We only wanted to put what was needed for each binder. So we went to K5, that's on page 11, and goes through page, for K5, we went to that section. To do 3.5, we did page 12, and we simply did a screenshot of it, or printed it, but said we only wanted to print those 2 pages. It created a document that we could then, a PDF document, we could then load into Livebinder and have it appear. Give it a moment, there. And we had it appear right here with the standards. And so that was one thing that we did, and we found it very useful to do. In the links for today, there are more Livebinder tips and tricks from Livebinders. Tina has done a great job of organizing those and making it easier for everyone to see. So let me just close this window, and then we'll move on to questions. So if you have questions for us, please let us know.
I did capture one in the chat, but it had to do more with other subjects. This teacher knows that all the science and social studies are supposedly integrated into ELA and math when using the Common Core. How is this done in your binder?
When we had started this project, we thought really big. We were going to do all of them. We were going to do ELA, we were going to do math, we were going to do science, social studies. We thought we were going to be able to do it all. But where we're at right now, 1 year later, is we are still working on the ELA standards. This is such a huge project, and we've been presenting this a lot this year. And what I've been telling everybody, and what we haven't talked about yet, and we've added a new tab on our Livebinder, was help us add to this binder, because it's not my responsibility, it's not my team's responsibility, it's everybody's responsibility to start curating the internet to help teachers with their lesson plans. So this is a work in progress. We're not finished with ELA yet. We've decided that we are going to, because we actually paid for the collaborative subscription through Livebinder for this year, which gives us more features than just the free collaboration tool. So we had decided we were going to work on ELA for next year, and then we would talk to see how things were going and if we were going to move on to the other standards or what was going to happen. We're not quite sure yet. We're still working on ELA, and we're asking everybody we talk to send us the e-resources that you're currently using. If you have something that's not added on our binder yet, send it to us. We'll vet it and we'll put it up there. So that's how we're working that.
Great. One of the big ideas we had when we began our collaboration was that we wanted our resources to be able to be copied. So Livebinder is so excellent that you can make a copy and use this organization on your own with your teachers or yourself and create your own Livebinder with the same format. Because we know that as librarians we work really hard to learn how to curate information. So we have the curation, we have the ability to organize the information. Now people can also create their own.
Terrific. I did capture a couple of other questions. what are the differences between the free and upgrade, and what about cost?
Hi everyone, this is Tina, so I'll answer that question. So the difference between the free and the upgrade, one is size. So right now we offer a 1 gigabyte account or a 50 gigabyte account. If you're doing a group of, I think, more than 5 or 10, then you have a little flexibility of what size you want individuals to have, but those are the standards for an individual account. And then some of the other extra features are you get a third row of tabs. So for this particular binder, you saw the main tabs, and then inside you saw sub-tabs there. The subscription allows you to have another level of tabs within the sub-tabs. So like as they broke down their Common Core requirements or the different areas of the requirements, they could have added more base tabs under there to show the different resources, but I think the way they used with the single page was a better way to do that. But if you wanted to break it down even further, you could do that. And then we introduced the table of contents feature, so if you're a subscriber, you can make the table of contents the first thing that everyone sees. You can eliminate some of the features that we have when you're in play mode of a binder, like removing comments feature or the details or the useful rating. Some of our business users don't want to have that up there, so that's an option that they can use. And then we have more features coming out that are specific to subscribers, but they're not quite ready yet, so I don't want to jinx it by mentioning them here. But as more features come out, those will automatically be applied to all subscribers.
Would you like to use app sharing, Tina, to help explain some of these things?
Sure. So here's what an account would look like if you've started creating binders and populated binders here. We provide these little binder icons that represent your binders. So you can see here that we have a message board, and we're featuring the Super Binder over here on the right. We have a featured page where we look at a bunch of binders that come out, and we kind of vet them to this featured page. If we think the content and the presentation of the binders would be of interest to some of our users, and right here, you can see the Super Binder has been updated. When you're going inside of a binder, shall I just show different types of content?
Sure.
Maybe I'll do that.
That would be great, Tina. Thank you.
Okay. So here's a binder I created called Example Content, and you can see here that the tabs, unlike the Super Binder, are off to the side. I think you saw the Classroom 2.0 binder with the left side tabs. So when you're looking at a binder, you don't have to have an account. First of all, I think that's one of the features that was flexible for the team, is that nobody had to create their own account just to get access to the resources. But you do have flexibility in how you view a binder. So whether you're on an iPad or at a desktop, you can move the cursors of the tab so that it's better for you to access. So if I liked looking at binders with the tab stacked, I can do that. It doesn't affect the binder at all. It's just the way I want to view it. Scrolling tabs, it puts it all in one line, and I can scroll through the tabs this way. Use the dots to move them around. Or you can do either left or right side tabs. So the right is the way that I have this one set up, and left is obviously on the left side. So when you're viewing content, you can click on these little icons to make the screen larger. And every tab page will have a link to the content. So if you want to view the web page, or let's say the PDF file that's in a binder full screen, you can just launch it by clicking on it. So you don't have to necessarily view your content inside of the binder. And then you can go back to the binder to look at the content. So somebody was asking about live Google Docs. So you can insert Google Docs into a binder. This is an editable one. So if you were all looking at example content right now, we could all be typing in this Google Doc here. So I'll just type a greeting here. So whoever has this document is going to be seeing my text entry. So For people who are collaborating in a binder, or if you have assignments with students who are doing writing projects, I recommend having them insert their Google Doc inside of a binder. It's easier to get to. They can edit their document here. You could have the same link in another binder that a teacher could be viewing for all students, and they could be seeing their latest update on their writing project. If you just put your mind to it, there's so many creative things you can do with the web tools that are out there, and letting Livebinder be the organizational factor for that. So it doesn't have to be editable. It can be editable. You could actually have the editable version in one binder that you're working on, but put the link to the finished document that no one can edit in another binder or another binder tab. So people, like if you're updating an assignment, you could be updating it live, and they could be seeing the finished Google Doc in their binder. So here's the Google form. So if you're doing survey questions or quizzes, you can embed the form inside of a binder, and you could have the answer spreadsheet in another subtab, like right here I have it in a subtab. I could make it so that I'm the only one who sees the results, but I know that it's in this binder. So, for example, I could fill out this form. Right now it's not allowing me to enter text. I'm not sure why, but if you were to access this binder, you'd be able to just practice viewing it. I think I made the spreadsheet public so that you can view it. So Office documents, all of those require the application on your desktop to open. The browsers are not equipped with opening up the Office document. So we make a thumbnail of the document, and so when you click on it, it will download it to your computer and launch the application that it corresponds to. So if you're finished with your document, we recommend that you save it as a PDF. Browsers are familiar with the PDF format, so that's the so if you're finished with your doc, you don't want anyone to edit it, then that would be the format that I would recommend. Embed codes. So it used to be with YouTube. This is a recent update for us. YouTube used to block their videos from showing in an iframe, which is the way that we share live content in a binder. So you used to have to use the embed code to get your videos in a binder, but now we've made it so that you can just use Livebinder or you can copy paste a link of a YouTube video into the binder, and it will just automatically embed it now. So it's much easier. You can do this with Prezis now. And with Padlets, we haven't had a problem with them, but if you do, or if there's any media file that you're having a hard time getting to display in a binder, if they offer the embed code, just grab the embed code and insert it into the binder, and I can show you where that is here. So let me just do that really quick. I don't know how much time we have here. So for example, here's a Prezi presentation. You can click on, you find where the share or the embed code is, and you copy the code. You can set the size here however you want it to display in the binder tab. You create a new tab, so every content requires a new tab. So one tab or sub-tab will have one piece of media. So here would be a new tab, sub-tab. And I'll just do the embed Prezi example. You go up to add content. This is what the editor looks like. You would just launch the editor clicking on the edit button, which I did very quickly. Sorry, I didn't do that slowly. Add content, and you look for embed. You can change the name up here if you want, or do it in the tab. And then you paste the embed code in the little box and click on insert. Wait for it to load. And then if you want to test it, you can go up to the menu up here and click on play to launch out of the edit mode and back into play mode. So we'll do that. And I'll go back to the embed codes, go to the Prezi example, and you'll see that it's in there ready to go into launch. So up here really quickly, this takes you to your account or the home page if you're logged in. Featured binders page I showed you. This one lets you add a binder to a shelf. So when you have an account, you can actually add other people's binders to your account. So it doesn't mean that you own the binder, but if somebody updates the binder, like if you had the iLeadU Super Binder and you saved it to your shelf, every time they updated it, you would have the latest and greatest of their binder. If you wanted to make a copy of it, it's almost like a Xerox copy of it. So it becomes your binder, and you can then edit that binder and make it your own. So the links in there belong to them, but the format of the binder belongs to you. This icon here is the share link, so you can share your binder. You can actually share the link to the whole binder, or if you want to share just a particular tab, and I don't mean just a tab by itself, but let's say you added a new piece of content and you wanted to say, look, please take a look at this particular tab. I just added this video or this presentation. You can actually send them the link to that particular tab, so when the binder opens, it goes straight to that sub-tab or main tab. If you wanted to embed your binder icon, we give you the embed codes for the little binder icons that represent your binders, and you can put them on your web page or your blog site. We also have an embed code if you wanted to embed a mini binder. And this is just a version of the binder that's about any size that you want, and it could be sitting on your web page. So we've had teachers who will have afternoon activities for their students, and in each tab would be a little video that they would present. So the students would go to the teacher's blog site or web page and then just interact with the content that's in the open binder. So I can give an example of that if we have time, but I don't think we have much time for that.
No.
And then, you know, as you're looking for content, if you know the name of the tab, you can actually do a quick search and it'll take you to that tab or show you all the tabs or sub-tabs that have the content. So if you're like in a binder that's got a lot of content, you can, you know, search for the tab title. I'm going to do embed. So here are all the tabs and sub-tabs that have embed in them. So this is something that you can do in play mode when you're trying to find content. Here's the table of contents feature that we recently added. So if you're trying to see if a binder has all the information that you're looking for, you can quickly click on the show table of contents, and all the tabs and all the sub-tabs and all the base tabs will be presented to you. If you see something you like, you can click on it and it will take you directly to that link where the content is located. What's nice about the binder is you can get a lot of interactive content. This is a JavaScript programming application, so you could teach this little icon here to move around this centerpiece. It's a programming application. The students could be programming it in the binder. They can launch it outside of the binder and they can run it. I don't remember using this, but I think you see the code. So there's all the code. So they could be programming it. And again, this is all in the binder. So that's one of the cool things about the feature is that when you have really interactive content and you kind of want to keep the kids in one place and in a context they understand in relationship to the assignment, you can do that here. Okay, so taking up a lot of time. Hopefully I answered some of your questions, and if you have more, feel free to email me at tina@livebinders.com, and I'd be happy to answer your questions. Yeah.
Thank you, Tina. That was wonderful.
Thank you.
Someone asked about student accounts.
So if the students are 13 and under, we ask that they sign up under the teacher's email, and we provide a way for you to do that. If you go to Livebinders and click on the sign up button, you'll see that there. We don't collect names, so it's really just getting your email so that, and a username, so that if you forget your password, we can send a temporary password to you. So by signing up under the teacher account, it's almost like what you do with Gmail. It just appends the teacher's email with the student username on there. And so if the student requests a forgotten password, it goes to the teacher instead of the student's email, which is much quicker. Other than that, students who are in high school, if they have their school email address, or if the schools let them use their personal email, they can sign up for their own accounts that way.
Okay, or their Google apps for education accounts, would that work too?
Yes. That would
okay. If a document is in view mode, can it still be shared for viewing in the binder?
Yes, yes.
So editing or viewing?
You can choose either one. It's really dependent on how you set the share document in Google Docs. So for example, let me, you guys probably can't see the screen anymore. You know, in the upper right where it says share, it gives you a bunch of options. The one that I use regularly is anyone with link. So they have to know the link or click on the link to open that document. And then you either choose can view or can edit. And that's the easiest way to share your document. If you want to be very private, we actually have teachers who want to get their assignments in a binder early, but they don't want their students to see it. So they'll usually enter it as a Google Doc, but keep it private. So if they happen to click on that tab, they don't see the content yet. And then when they're ready, they make it public. We are coming out, and I can tell you one feature that we have is hidden tabs, and that's a feature that will be a subscriber feature that will allow you to hide a tab or lock a tab so that no one can look at the content unless they're given an access key to view it. And the other thing I didn't mention was you can copy tabs. So another thing that teachers will do if they're trying to create a curriculum binder is they'll have one binder where they start putting all their material together, and then when they're ready to share it with the classroom binder, they'll copy that tab into the other binder, and that's really easy to do if you are familiar with the editing tools. It opens up a Livebinder which is this little pop-up window that lets you see all your binders, and then you can say add this binder, this link or tab to a binder.
Great. And do you know, do the Google Apps accounts work for children under 13? Or is that also 13 and up?
What do you mean by Google Apps account? So if the school allows them to have a Google App account and they have their emails from that, that's fine for them to use. We're comfortable with that because the school is comfortable and the parents know about it.
Okay. Those are all the questions that I caught, although Peggy's mentioning the iPad app. The Livebinder's iPad app.
Yeah, so I just gave it an overview of some of the new changes, updates that we did, and we have an iOS 8 version of the iPad app now available. So it lets you create binders on your iPad, but more importantly, you can actually get all your photos on your iPad directly into a binder.
Oh.
And where you can't resize your images in a binder on the desktop, we haven't created that feature yet, you can do that on the iPad. So most people are taking pictures from their iPhone or their iPad. So when you upload them into a binder from the app, it tells you, do you want this to be small, medium, large, or original? So you can set that size to fit in the tab frame from there. And it makes it very, very easy. That's both with the iPhone app and the iPad app.
Great. Thanks so much, Tina.
Thank you.
They were the questions that I was able to capture. So we'll continue. Peggy, do you want to take over the upcoming shows?
Yes, I do. Thank you so much to our entire team of librarians and to Tina. This has just been great, and it's so exciting to see the ways that you have used Livebinders to make such a valuable resource. So thank you so much for sharing it. We just want to let you know we have some awesome shows coming up. So we hope you'll join us every Saturday. Next week we have a great featured teacher. Her name is Ava Robinson, and she's going to be telling us all about amazing things she does as a technology facilitator and also using TAC. She has so many great examples. On March 21st, we get to hear about Eyewitness, which is a fantastic new free resource for teachers that is interviews, video interviews with Holocaust survivors and witnesses. And that's a resource I think if that's in your curriculum, you'll definitely want to check out. April 4th, we will not have a show because that's Easter weekend in the United States. April 11th, we're getting a bonus show with Kyle Shute on Discovery Education, virtual field trips, and free resources. And they have so many free resources that we can all take advantage of. April 18th, we are so excited to have the guru of ThingLink, Susan Oxenabot, is joining us to share all about ThingLink, which is an amazing tool. And then April 25th, again, we won't have a show because that's the Den Spring Virtual Conference, so we all love to participate in that. So join us for any of those that you can, and check out the recordings if you can't make it. Lori, back to you.
Thanks, Peggy. The Learning Revolution Project is Steve Hargadon's newest venture. He's gathered together all of his PD resources in one place, including host your own webinar, meaning you can host your own Blackboard Collaborate session as long as you make it public. On the resources for Classroom 2.0 Live in the Livebinders, one of the tabs is the form for nominate a featured teacher, like we're going to have a featured teacher next week for March, and the direct URL is on this slide as well as in the chat. You can nominate another teacher, or you can also nominate yourself as a featured teacher. As you exit the session, the Classroom 2.0 Live survey page should open up. The survey is also in the Livebinder. There's a direct link for the survey on this page. The link's also in the chat box, or again, it's in the resources section of the Livebinder. When you complete the survey, at the bottom, you can enter a name and an email address to request a professional development certificate. Please make sure that's a personal email address, because this sometimes gets blocked from school email accounts. Here's the link for the video collection and audio collection in iTunes U. So there are many places to get the recording resources for shows, as well as an RSS feed here on the Classroom 2.0 Live website page. Again, special thanks today to our super librarians, Mindy, Marcia, Rachel, Katie, and Mary Jo, as well as to Tina, to Steve Hargadon, the founder of Classroom 2.0, Teacher 2.0, Future of Education, and the Learning Revolution, to Weebly.com for providing our website, to Blackboard Collaborate for our webinar platform, and to everyone who participated in today's show. Thank you so much for coming.